Patent awareness for PhD researchers. Introduction to research type and innovation. Scientific and innovation research. Good morning, everyone. Today's session is focused on patent awareness, a topic that has become increasingly important for researchers, especially at PhD level, where cutting edge innovation often overlap with intellectual property creation. To begin with, it's essential to understand the different type of research and how they relate to the concept of patentability. Broadly, research activities undertaken in academic and industrial settings can be classified into two primary categories: scientific research and innovative research. Both contribute significantly to knowledge and technological advancement, but they differ in purpose, outcome, and their eligibility for patent protection. Scientific research is primarily aimed at expanding existing knowledge. This form of research typically focus on generating new insight, theories, and models that help explain phenomena and advance scientific understanding. For instance, development a new mathematical model to simulate a physical process or refining an existing scientific theory falls under this category. While such contributions are intellectually valuable and may be published in prestigious journals, they are not usually patentable. This is because patents are granted for tangible applications or technical solutions, and abstract idea or theoretical models are not considered inventions under patent law. On other hand, innovative research is directed towards solving problems, practical problems, or improving existing technologies. The goal here is to create something with potential real-world utility, to be it a product, process, method, composition, machine, or apparatus. When such innovations are both novel and non-obvious in light of existing knowledge, they can be protected under patent law. For example, if a PhD researcher develops a new type of biodegradable packaging material or design a new novel medical device, these outcomes may be considered patentable inventions if they meet the required legal criteria. Unlike purely theoretical work, innovative research leads to technical advancement or economic value, making it eligible for intellectual property protection. In summary, while both types of research are critical to academic and technological progress, only innovative research typically results in patentable outcomes. Understanding this distinction is the first step towards strategically managing and protecting your research outcome. As we move forward in today's lecture, we will explore how identify such innovations, how to protect them legally, and the role of intellectual property in our academic and professional career. Intellectual property and research. As researchers, we often focus primarily on generating knowledge and publishing results. However, it is equally important to understand the legal and commercial aspects of our work, patent, particularly intellectual property. In the academic environment, IP broadly cover two domains: the right associated with research publication and those linked to inventions and innovations. Let's begin with research paper rights, which are typically governed by copyright law. Copyright protects original literary and artistic work, including scientific, artistic, these reports and presentations. It grants two types of rights to author: moral right and economic rights. Moral right include the right to be acknowledged as the author attribution and the rights to object to any distortion or modification of the work that could harm or the author's reputation, integrity. These rights are usually non-transferable. Economic rights, on the other hand, include the ability to control the reproduction, distribution, translation, and public display of work. In academic publishing, these economic rights are often shared or transferred to publishers when submitting articles for publication. That is why it is essential to carefully review the copyright agreements you sign with journals. In contrast, invention-based intellectual property deal with patents, design, trade secret, and occasionally trademark, each offering a different kind of protection. Patents are the most relevant form of protection for researchers working on new products, process methods, or compositions. A patent grants the inventor an exclusive rights to make, use, sell, or license the invention for a fixed period, usually 20 years, in exchange for public disclosure. This allows inventors to control the commercialization of their innovations. Industrial design protects the aesthetic or visual feature of a product. Its shape, configuration, pattern, or ornamentation, while not a common in science field. This can be relevant for device prototype or user interface design. Trade secrets refers to confidential business information such as formulas, processes, or techniques that provide a competitive edge. Unlike patents, trade secrets are not publicly disclosed and can last indefinitely as long as secrecy is maintained. Coca-Cola formula is a classical example. Lastly, trademark protects based name, brand name logos, or symbol used in commerce. These are less relevant in academia but may apply to university spin-off or product branding. The fundamental difference between these type of IP lies in what they protect and why. Copyright in research paper protects the originality of expression, the way ideas are presented, while patents focused on the novelty, inventiveness, and industrial applicability of the underlying idea or solution itself. In other words, a research article explains knowledge, but a patent protects its practical application. Understanding these distinctions in which vital for PhD students, knowing when your work qualifies for publication versus when it should be protected through a patent can make the difference between sharing knowledge and owning a valuable innovation. In the next session, we will explore how to formally disclose an invention through the invention disclosure form and start the process of protecting your work. Invention disclosure form. Now that we have discussed the fundamental of intellectual property and the difference between publishing and patenting, it is time to look at how innovation are formally brought to attention of a university's IP cell or technology transfer office. This is done through an innovation disclosure form or IDF. IDF is the official starting point for accessing and protecting an invention. It follows a detailed structure that ensures all critical aspects of inventions are captured for evaluation and potential patent filing. The first element of IDF is the title of the invention. This title should clearly describe the invention in a way that convey its purpose and nature. While it does not have to be the final title of patent application, it should be informative, ideally between 6 to 15 words. The title may be refined later based on patent law requirement or suggestions from the IP cell. Next section is the background, which sets the context of for the invention. Here, inventors are expected to explain the current state of technology and identify the specific problem their invention addresses. This includes summarizing existing solutions, highlighting their limitations and deficiencies, and clearly articulating how the proposed invention offers a novel and improved approach. Additionally, it is important to mention any known companies or researchers working in similar area to provide a broad technical perspective. Following the background, the summary of invention is required. This is a concise explanation, ideally under 200 words, that outline the key feature and advantage of the invention. It should focus on what makes the invention unique, whether it is novel mechanism, improved performance, or more efficient process. This summary gives evaluators a quick understanding of invention's potential. The detail of invention section is where the technical heart of disclosure lies. If the invention is a process, all the steps should be described in detail, including critical parameter and their acceptable ranges. If it is product, the inventor should describe the components and their configuration. Any modification, alternatives, or embodiments should also be mentioned. Supporting diagram, flowchart, table, or images can greatly help in explaining the technical aspect more clearly. Furthermore, this section should clarify whether a working prototype or proof of concept exists and how the invention was validated. An essential part of IDF is the prior art search. Inventors are expected to conduct a search of existing literature, both patent and non-patent, to determine whether similar inventions already exist. This includes cited journal articles, while papers, or previously granted patents, along with brief explanation of how these documents relates or do not relates to the disclosed invention. The goal here is to access the invention's novelty and inventive step, which are legal requirements for patentability. The form then asks about prior disclosure of the invention in public domain. This is crucial because any public presentation, publication, or even a conference poster could be considered prior art and affect the novelty of invention. Inventors should provide details such as the type of disclosure, title, date, platform, or journal name if applicable. Next, if IDF seeks information about development stage of invention, this helps evaluators understand whether the idea is still conceptual, has working prototype, or it is or is ready for commercialization. Closely related to this is the section on research validation, where inventors describe the next step they plan to take in an upcoming year to develop, test, and validate their invention further. The form also includes the sections on funding sources, especially if the invention was developed under a research grant or sponsored project. In such case, inventors must disclose the grant reference number, project title, sponsoring agency, collaboration detail, and any obligations tied to the funding, such as IP sharing, final reporting, or licensing right. Inventions are often collaborative efforts, so the form asks for detail of external collaboration outside the institution, including their affiliations and contributions. In addition, if any part of invention relied on input from individuals who are not listed as inventors or collaborators, that information must be disclosed separately to ensure proper attribution and legal clarity. There is also a critical section on incumbents. If invention include use of proprietary material such as cell lines, compound, or software that were obtained under a material transfer agreement or another restrictive license, those agreements must be attached or summarized. This helps assess whether there are legal limitations on commercialization or prototyping the invention. Finally, the form ends with a request for inventor to describe any other possible commercial applications of the invention, even speculative ones. This could include potential industries, use case, or market opportunities that the inventor envision. This information is particularly useful for evaluating the commercial viability and licensing potential of the invention. In conclusion, the invention disclosure form is a comprehensive document that transforms a technical background into a legally recognized asset. Completing it carefully and accurately ensure your innovation gets the protection it deserves and set the stage for patenting, licensing, and startup development. As a researcher, learning to document and disclose your invention systematically is not just a administrative task, it is a vital step in the journey from lab to impact. Criteria for patentability. Understanding the criteria for patentability is essential for researchers intending to protect their innovations. The Indian Patent Act clearly defines what constitutes an invention and set the standards an idea must meet to qualify for patent protection. According to the Act, an invention refers to a new product process that must also involve an inventive step and have industrial applicability. These three pillars, novelty, inventive step, inventiveness, and utility in industry, form the foundation of patent law. The inventive step is a critical requirement that differentiates a mere discovery or routine improvement from a truly innovative invention. An invention must demonstrate a technical advancement or economic significance, or both, our existing knowledge. Furthermore, it must not be obvious to a person skilled in the art. For instance, if a process slightly altered a well-known method but adds no substantial benefit, it may be considered obvious and therefore not patentable. However, if the modification significantly enhances efficacy, reduces cost, or solves a long-standing technical problem in a novel way, it can be considered inventive. The novelty criteria ensure that the invention not disclosed anywhere in the world prior to the date of filing. This includes patent, research publication, websites, or even oral presentations. If the idea has been made public in any form, it loses its novelty and becomes part of the prior art. Hence, researchers must take utmost care not to disclose their inventions before filing a patent application, even in conferences or journals. The third essential requirement is industrial applicability. The invention must be capable of being used in some kind of industry, whether mechanical, chemical, pharmaceutical, agricultural, or digital. It should not merely be a theoretical concept or a scientific principle. it must have a practical application. For example, a lab scale prototype that can be scaled up for a use in manufacturing or medicinal diagnostic would qualify under this criteria. In, in conclusion, for a PhD level inventions to be considered patentable, it must fulfill all three requirements: novelty, non obviousness, inventive step, and industrial applicability. A deep understanding of these concepts is vital for researchers to determine whether their innovations qualifies for legal protection and to navigate the patent filing process effectively. Patentability element case examples. The core element of patentability, novelty, inventive step, and industrial applicability are evaluated using practical example. Understanding these through case-based illustration will help you better access whether your research outcomes can qualify as patentable inventions. Starting with novelty, an invention is considered novel if it has not been publicly disclosed in any forms anywhere in the world prior to the patent filing date. However, it is important to consider the doctrine of equivalence, which means that even if an invention is presented with different elements, if it performs substantially the same function in substantially the same way to yield the same result as an existing invention, it may not be considered new. For instance, if someone designs a new spring mechanism in a car seat that works identically to a prior system but is slightly altered in shape or material, it may not qualify as a novel. Similarly, in the pharmaceutical domain, a new synthesis route for a drug must offer a significantly different method or output to be considered novel. And in case of compositional inventions such as a herbal formulation, it needs to demonstrate a clear enhancement in efficacy to qualify as truly new. Next is the inventive step, or what is often referred to as non-obviousness. This element is met when the invention shows a technical advancement or economic benefit that is not obvious to someone skilled in the relevant field. For example, consider a process improvement in chemical engineering that reduced production time or cost drastically. If this change is not something a typically professional in this domain would think of easy, it may be deemed inventive. Likewise, in pharmaceutical sciences, a drug formulation that is enhances solubility and bioavailability beyond what existing formulation offers could satisfy the inventive step requirement, especially if it solves a known problem in a novel way. Finally, we examine industrial applicability. A patentable invention must be capable of being made or used in some kind of industry. This requirement is usually easiest to meet but is still essential. For instance, a lab scale prototype developed for biotech or chemical manufacturing must demonstrate scalability and applicability in a real world industry setting. The invention should not remain there theoretical, it must offer a concrete solution that can be practically implemented in a specific industry domain. In summary, these case based illustrations reinforce that to be patentable, an invention must be new, non obvious, and industrially applicable. Whether you are working on engineering solutions, chemical synthesis, or pharmaceutical compositions, evaluating your invention through these lenses will strengthen your patent application and align your research with innovation driven impact. What is not patentable in India? When considering filing a patent, it is essential to understand not just what can be protected but also what can't. The Patent Act in the Indian Patent Act under Section 3 and Section 4 outline a comprehensive list of subject matter that is excluded from the definition of an invention. These exclusion helps maintain ethical, scientific, and legal integrity while preventing misuse of patent system. Understanding these boundaries is particularly important for researchers in academia, where innovation often border on fundamental discoveries and traditional knowledge. First, inventions that are frivolous or contrary to natural law are not patentable. This includes any claim that defines established scientific principle, for example, a perpetual motion machine, which contradicts the law of thermodynamics. Similarly, inventions that are morally or socially unacceptable acceptable, or that could harm human, animal, or plant life or environment are also excluded. For example, chemical formula instance for biological warfare or genetically modified organisms designed to spread uncontrollably would fall under this category. Next, the law does not allow patents on scientific principle, abstract theory, or the discoveries of naturally occurring substances. For instance, Newton's law or the isolation of naturally existing minerals or microbes would not qualify as inventions. A common misconception is that discovering a new form or use of known substance could be patentable. However, unless the efficacy is demonstrably enhanced, such claims are invalid. For example, re- repurposing aspirin for stroke prevention, when it is already known for treating fever, does not meet the threshold for novelty and inventive step unless a significant advantage is proven. Another excluded category is mere admixtures, simple combination of known substances that do not create a synergetic effect. Mixing sugar and salt, for instance, merely aggregates their individual properties and does not result in a new product or enhanced utility. Similarly, the mere arrangement or duplication of known devices such as combining a fan and light in a housing where both work independently is not considered inventive. Agriculture and horticulture methods, such as new techniques for sowing seed or irrigating crops, are also non patentable in India. The same goes for medical and veterinary treatment methods. Procedures like surgical techniques or diagnostic procedures can't be patented, although associated devices may qualify if novel. This exclusion ensures unrestricted access to life-saving treatment. Furthermore, Indian law excludes plants and animals, including their seeds, variety, and species, for patent protection. Except for microorganisms, so a genetically unmodified mango variety, no matter how unique, cannot be patented. Similarly, invention based on essential biological processes for propagation of life are also barred. The law also prohibits the patenting a mathematical method, business method, and computer programs per se. This means that a simple algorithm or software for accounting, if not tied to a specific hardware implementation or technical effect, is not eligible. Likewise, authentic creations such as music, album, painting, or cinematographic work are protected under copyright, not patents. Other non-patentable areas include scheme or method of performing mental acts such as solving Sudoku puzzles or presentation of information like data visualization or instruction manuals, topographies of integrated circuits, although eligible for protection under the Semiconductor Integrated Circuit Layout Design Act, are not patentable under the Patent Act. Finally, a very important exclusion relates to traditional knowledge. Practice such as using turmeric for wound healing or neem as pesticide are already in public domain and can't be patented, even if reformulated slightly. Any invention that is mere an aggregation or duplication of properties of traditional known components will not be qualified. Also, invention that relates to atomic energy or nuclear fuel cycles such as method of enriched uranium are excluded from patentability under Section 4 of the Patent Act. This is a security measure and is enforced through the provision of the Atomic Energy Act 1962. In summary, not all innovative ideas are patentable. Researchers must ensure that their inventions are more than just discoveries, combination, or known use. A valid patent must demonstrate novelty, inventive step, and industrial applicability, while steering clear of excluded subject matter defined by law. Knowing these boundaries not only save times and efforts but also helps channel innovation towards legally protectable outcomes. Patent search and databases. As PhD student engaged in research and innovation, it is critical to be aware of the various patent databases available to support your work, from conducting novelty searches to identify existing technologies and ensuring freedom to operate. Patent database can broadly categorized into free, paid, and specialized resources, each offering different functionality, coverage, and depth of analysis. Among the free databases, Google Patent is one of the most comprehensive and user-friendly platform. It indexes full-text patents from major patent offices such as the USPTO, EPO, JPO, KEPO, CIM, IPO, IPA, and WIPO. It is powerful keyword and semantic search feature make it a great starting point for students new to patent literature. Another key free resource is eSpace developed by eSpace Office, Patent Office. It provides access to 140 million patent documents from around the world and include multilingualistic full text search capabilities, citation analysis, and patent family data. The USPTO patent public search system has replaced the older PATFET and AppFET databases. It offers comprehensive access to US patent grant and applications, along with useful tool for classification-based searching and legal status tracking. WIPO Patent Scope allow access to international patent applications filed under the Patent Cooperation Treaty, as well as several national patent collections. It is essential for researchers considering global production of their inventions. The Lens is a unique tool combining patent and academic literature, enabling users to analyze the connection between science and innovation through citation. Free Patent Online is another user-friendly platform focused mainly on US patents, providing search capabilities, patent PDF, and alerts. For more advanced analytics and deeper insight, paid database comes into play. Darwin Innovation is widely used by R&D departments and IP professionals due to its enhanced patent records. Editor written summaries and powerful search and analysis tool. It includes Darwin Word Patents Index, which standardizes terminologies across jurisdictions. Paid-based offers global coverage and highly structured search options, making it ideal for comprehensive patent landscape analysis. Crystal Orbit is a premium platform that integrates several databases like FAMPET and full text with tools for competitive intelligence, valuation, and legal status monitoring. STN known for chemical and pharmaceutical patent search, including DWPI as well as database like CAS for scientific information. LexisNexis Patent Optimizer is another commercial tool designed to assist in drafting and optimizing patent application with automation, quickly check analysis. There are also specialized resources worth nothing. DPATCnet, maintained by German Patent Office, provide access to global patent publication with a strong European focus. SciFinder, widely used in chemistry and life science, include access to patents alongside journal literature, making it especially useful for drug discovery and material sciences. In conclusion, choosing the right patent database depends on your research goals, domain, and whether you are conducting preliminary research or preparing for patent filing. Free platforms are excellent for basic exploration and academic purposes, while paid tools offers advanced insights suitable for high-impact innovation and strategic IP management. Famil- Familiarity with these databases empowers PhD scholars to make informed decisions, avoid duplication of work, and increase the patentability and commercial potential of their inventions. Different types of patent searches and patent databases. As researchers working at the frontier of science and technology, it is essential for PhD students to understand not just how to conduct research but also how to protect and position their innovations. Patent researches are key tool in this process, each serving a unique purpose depending upon the stage of innovation and strategic goal. Let us explore the major type of patent researches, their objective and typical user and practical outcomes. The patentability search, also known as novelty search, is conducted to evaluate whether a new idea is eligible for patent protection. Its main goal is to determine if the invention is novel and involves an inventive step when compared to prior art. This search is typically used by researchers and inventors early in the innovation process before filing a patent application. For example, a patentability search might reveal a similar existing invention in a foreign patent, prompting the inventors to modify or improve their concept to overcome their that prior art. The freedom to operate search is essential for organizations looking to commercialize a product. This search identifies active patents that may be infringed upon by launching a specific product or using a process. It is mostly utilized by companies and startups before market entry. For instance, a startup developing a wearable health monitor may conduct a FTO search to ensure they are not infringing on any existing patent covering similar biosensors. Next is a invalidity or validity search, often used during patent litigation or opposition proceedings. Legal teams or parties interested in revoking a competitor's patent use this search to find prior art that predicate the filing of a granted patents and cloud potentially invalidate its claims. For example, a pharmaceutical company may challenge a competitor's drug formulation patent by uncovering earlier clinical research or patents that anticipated the same composition. The patent landscape analysis is broader in scope and serves strategic purposes. It involves mapping the patent activity within a particular technology domain to identify major trends, key players, and technological evolution. This type of search is typically used by our research and development heads, policymakers, and investors during strategic planning. For instance, a landscape analysis in the electric vehicle battery sector might show that certain universities or correlations dominate patent filing in solid state battery technology. Finally, the white space analysis is a forward looking tool aimed to spotting areas where the little or no patenting has occurred, so called innovation gap. Innovators and product development teams use this to identify opportunities for novel research or product development that could be protected by new patents. For example, an analysis might reveal that although there are many patents and on bio-based plastics, few exist for their use in specific temperature-sensitive packaging, highlighting an open space for innovation. By understanding these patent search types and their use cases, PhD students can better align their research with commercialization goals, avoid legal risk, and contribute more effectively to translation science and technology development. Thank you.